I want to thank everybody. This is, we were going to roll this out later on with Dharma Media. So we have our online and our archive presentations. And really, I think we're headed towards a new normal. We don't have to drive as much for the hell of it, saving resources. And then we want to think about what's sustainable. So as everybody's going through the whole zombie apocalypse thing and the Kofifi, whatever it is going on, we want to think about how we got here. So for the last 20 years or so, I think we generally have normalized unhealthiness as a culture, as a society, and as individuals. We have normalized being unhealthy. Mental health, we have new words and terms to describe behavior that is abnormal as being normal behavior. We've all been talking about things we could do for our health, but we haven't done them. And then when nature does what nature does in her divine consistency, we've always had cold and flu seasons, we've always had that, but we've never had a time when as many people that are unhealthy, we've created a narrative that that's normal, that's okay. Nature doesn't abide by our whims. So what we want to do is really keep in flow with nature. So as long as we have a good life practice, we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's, we're going to be as strong as we can on this earth. That doesn't mean we're going to escape death and suffering, but we'll be as durable as we can. So today, as we get into our Tai Chi class and things like that, let's move forward, not just thinking about what the new normal is, but also having real clear ideas about what being healthy and sustainable health is. That's mental, that's physical, that's social, that's emotional, that's within relationships, that's all those areas that we've really gotten off track. All of us have gotten off track and we have normalized things that are unhealthy. So let's go back and really allow nature to find its own level with us. So let's warm up, get cooking, and we'll talk some more. So first things first, let's get flowing. Sinking into Wu Chi and blossoming. Breath follows body, or body follows breath, breath follows intention. Let's do a few of these, get the kidney chi going, right? Kidney chi is flowing, feels good. Easy, deep breathing, soft breathing. Get it flowing, get the body warmed, get it actionable. If you've been in the house, that's not cool, get a little sun on you. Flowing. We're going to do this about 5 more times. 1. Work your horse stance. 2. 3. 4. 5. And now we begin consolidating and dispersing. When you breathe out, expand. When you breathe in, bring in that good chi, the good life force. Reinforce your immune system. Everybody's looking good, looking great. How's it feel, everybody?
Good. Nice to see you.
Nice to see me. Sink. Sink. And really work your legs, folks. Work your legs, work that horse stance, that Ma Bu stance. Expand. And up. Now, we're going to do some basic flow drills, a lot of them. Let's put ourselves in a nice conscious of, even though we're far apart, we're in the same mindset. So drill, drill, drill. Back to Wu Chi. Sink, grass sparrow's tail. Sink, grass sparrow's tail. We're going to do a number of these. Sink, Grass sparrow's tail, nothing else. Nothing else. Sink. Energy out, energy in. 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 We're going to do this a few more times. Sink, step, swirl the waist, gather the chi, sink, swirl the waist, gather the chi. Get out of your head, folks, and get in your body. It's a good opportunity to go deeper into the self. Don't think about it. Get that flow going. The drill, the drill, the drill, right? And this time, grass sparrow's tail. Ward off. Roll back. Press. Yield. Push. Grass sparrow's tail. Yield. Ward off. Roll back. Guard the heart. Yield. Push. Back. Grass sparrow's tail. Yield. Ward off. Roll back. Guard the heart. Yield. Push. Now, don't think about it. Let's get it going. Let's drill, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Return. Big circle, deep posture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back. Look at that. Let it evolve. Let it evolve. We're going to drill. Get the work in. Get the work in. A few more times. How's it feel, you guys?
Great.
Feel that waist. Now we're going to do this one more time, and we're going to go into another series, all right? And lift the sky. Back. Step. Very good. Okay, we're going to go over some more very condensed drills. So the key now is drill, 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 drill. So we're going to reinforce our Wei Qi, our immune system. We're going to reinforce also the air Qi, the Da Qi, the breathing. We're going to go into all that to really reinforce the Qis that we need during this time of stress and chaos. We're going to work on navigating through that by being sound. Next, let's go here. Similar movement. 1. We're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5. Swirl. Hit. Single whip. Okay? Very condensed, very low, and rock it out. All right? And we're going to drill until you get that. The body is warming up. The breath is flowing. Okay? Where's Nina at? I don't see Nina on my screen. Where's she at?
Little.
Where's Nina? Oh, there they are. Okay, I got to see my whole crew. There's John in the back. Let's get this party started. Okay, here we go. So we're going to do this 20 times, folks. Boom. Here. Here, 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 here. Woo! Here. And there. And back. And 1. Look at that. Okay, I want to reveal to everybody. So the big thing, a big benefit of doing it in this condensed way, think of yourself as being that you have a force around you, an external energy around you. Your Wei Qi is big. And inside there is the pit of where that energy comes from. And so as you're reinforcing yourself internally, it's building that ability to cast that immune system shield bigger and bigger. So you're generating that warmth inside your body. That's why the repetition, the drills are so important. Okay, so let's cook it. Change is difficult. Stay right there and push. And you come back just as elegant as you started. Keep it elegant, you guys. Keep it elegant. Unhurried, focused, nice breath. When you get here, that drawing back from the middle of the body, consolidating, and grasp your exhale. You guys see that? I'm going to slow it down a bit so we can work on real subtle details here. Change is difficult. I sink. I present. I recoil back. In this smaller space of working, you want to have a denser movement. So it warms you. You feel your legs.
I said, yeah, I know where I put them. Because when I went to get mine, they didn't have the ones I normally buy, so I just got a 6-roll pack of beaver.
D,
I got.
Yeah.
everybody needs to mute their microphones, because when you hear noise on other people's, it goes to their screen and you blank out.
Oh, okay.
I'll mute them all.
Why do we see a black screen all the
Yeah,
time?
you can mute them out there, yeah.
But also the videos, because we keep seeing black screens.
I think it's anytime someone enters,
And
it's,
they have a video on.
yeah, and they have video on, it shows
But
up.
it's black. Like I keep seeing every 2 minutes there's an iPhone screen that says black, and that's all you see.
That means the computer hears something and it switches to that person. So everybody's going to turn their mic off.
You or just me?
Right, but if you mute everybody out from there, then it'll solve the problem, because then it won't go to
Okay,
other.
let's do it.
I'm going to do that right now.
We need all this input, folks, because we're going to go forward like this. So this is good.
All right, cool. Everyone's muted. Can we hear us? Okay.
Thumbs up. There you go. There you go. Let's cook it. Go into your deep Wu Chi. Very deep. Blossom. Exaggerate the movements with more expression, add more texture to them, and refine your angles. Sit, refine your angles, refine your reset. Hips, hips, hips. Good. Now take a little breather. We're going to add to that. So as we're walking, we're going to add a few extraordinary pieces. Again, grounding the body, sitting in a deeper posture, being very mindful of the symmetry of your movements, okay? The symmetry of your movements. Be very engaged with that. So we're making circles, swirls, right? Figure eights, infinity signs. We're doing all that. And this upper part of the body is very expressive while the lower part of the body is very dense. All right? Let's get back into there. So work with me. Sending the chi to the floor, into the earth, blossom out of the earth and reestablish yourself upon here. Same movement here. Up to here, we're all familiar with these movements. Upright posture, moving from the waist. Now when we get here, change is difficult. Single whip. And then you're going to step back into tiger's mouth. Okay, see how I did that? So what I want is from the, I'm going to give you an angle on there. I want you to retract the body. Sit in tiger's mouth. Okay, let's work on that. That's real good. Everybody show me what you're doing. That's good, that's good. Okay, let's take it from the top. And so we're going to work on these extraordinary rhythms and flows in the body because I want you to generate warmth in your body. I want that marrow, washing the marrow to come up, that movement of the bones, the movement of the marrow. So here we go. See that? Good. And each time, breathe in, breathe out. Relax, 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 relax. Okay, let's shake it off, and we're going to do basically the arm drill part while sitting in our horse or ma booth stance. We're going to really focus on arm movement, okay? So going into a modest Wuqi, sitting relaxed, we're going to only express everything above the waist while sinking the chi in, and imagine you're on a surfboard or you're on a horse in a moderate gallop, okay? And so we're going to try that a few times until we get real comfortable with that rhythm. So we're working on the yang expression of the movement, all the body movements, right? Upper body movements, everything up here, while we're reinforcing the yin of the lower body, we're nurturing the yin of the lower body, okay? Get on your surfboard or your horse, feel it in a nice steady movement of waves, that nice oscillation, and sit in it. Breathe. 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 And then as you move into it, you'll see areas that are not as fluid, and you want to look at transitions and where you can become more fluid. There is a method, there are strategies, but each individual, you want to explore those strategies with yourself. So let's break it down. We're sitting here. The first upper body movements, you're very familiar with. Finding your way back to the center. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clear. Blossom. Ascend. How's that feel? Pretty good, right? Okay, let's do it. Again, we're going to have the japa tour or the drill. So we're going to do those drills. Let's do them all and push ourselves a little bit. We're going to do it. Let's go 7 times. And we're going to do, and each time what you're looking for is that more dynamic flow, less rigidity in the upper body, the shoulders, the neck, the jaw, and feel the wavy motion in the lower body as you sit in your horse stance. Again, always follow that mantra that intention guides breath, breath guides body. Intention guides breath, breath guides body. And let's begin. Excuse me. There we go. That last movement is tiger's mouth, is that right? The very last movement is tiger's mouth. That is correct. Good, good. So we want to really break the bad habits. So we have, let's do it 6 more times from the start. Once we committed to our stance, we're going to stay there and do it following the serial. Bam. Woo! Get it going, folks. Very good. Put your workout into it now. Really work yourself out. See if you can work up a little bit of heat. Okay? If you want to challenge yourself, make a somewhat brisker pace. Right? I'm adding a little pace to it, but you don't have to, but it does have its own benefit. I did all mine. How you doing? Keep going, keep going. Take a little breathe.
Oh, shoot.
Okay. So that's a good drill, everybody. Let's take a little breather here and go over. Get the other stool here. So with all of your techniques, following the mantra is very important. The narrative is everything. And I'm going to apply that to life in general. Whatever you do in your personal practice is life. As I always say, the body will tell the truth, the mouth will never utter. So your practice, as it becomes more intrinsic and embedded in you, you will see it in every area of your life. That doesn't mean your life will all of a sudden be unencumbered, but that's part of it. Without challenge, nothing grows. So looking at our hand movements, the elegant woman's hands. So if everybody could just practice the elegant woman's hands, imagine you're rotating your opponent's wrist, or you're simply turning and guiding their elegant woman's hands. Boom, boom. So where does that, feel where that movement generates from, all the way up into the flank of the body. And then we go to the other side and we add it. So they say this movement resembles 2 birds in pursuit in playful flight, or 2 birds that pursued each other in flight. You see that? So the whole flank of the body. And what I see often is that people will get this part of the movement, but it's not associated with the flank of the body. Does everybody follow that? So that dipping and rolling of the shoulder clears all that congestion out in the shoulder and the jaw, right? Roll, 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 roll. Now, with going up from the ankle, let's get up to the elbow. the elbow rolls and rolls. So this bone known as the humerus, and then this is the glenohumeral process of the shoulder. So that whole thing is rolling, rolling. And in order for that to roll, there's a sway to the upper body. Is that right? And you sway. And you add that together, and it creates that sense of elegance in the body, the connection. Boom. So here, the hands resembling birds in flight, right? There you go. There you go. Very good. Now, when we take that movement and we bring it here and we go to guard the heart. Let's say we go to guard the heart. You see how smooth that is? Guard the heart. Guard the heart. As this movement is exhausted, it returns to here, see? So the guarding, what is, see the guarding? Guard the heart. And on either side, guard the heart. Guard the heart. And as you begin to guard the heart, the whole upper body is expressive. So that metaphor of elegant hands is the placement of all things, you see? Guard and flow. And then the opening of the heart, that is also very elegant, see? And the pushback. Work that. And then some of your more basic movements, the grasping sparrow's tail, can be expressed in innumerable ways. So the first piece is the support of the sparrow, also known as grooming the wild horse's mane. But the titles in the narrative has everything to do with your intention. So here I am, I'm framing my arm here, and I'm turning my waist. I'll frame my body, I turn my waist. I frame the body, I turn the waist. Now you can do this standing or sitting, and what I'm trying to really get you to express is everything from the shoe line, from this waist, that cortisol band. See the framing of the body. Frame the body. Feel your waist pivot. Almost, how many degrees would you say that could be? So from here is 90, so almost 180 degrees of waist movement, almost. See? All the way around. So frame this from the belly button as the axis and turn the waist, not the hips. That's why I chose to sit on I'm sitting on one of the stools here so I can isolate, brace my lower body and isolate the waist. And when you meditate on it, you'll feel muscles in your obliques, muscles on the pelvic floor. You can feel the difference between your lumbar, your sacral, and your thoracic spine if you do this correctly. You can practice on one side and then go the other, or you could do it bilaterally. You could just go from one side to another. As long as you feel the interior abdomen and the distinction of the spine, tail or sit bone, the coccyx, the lumbar, and then the T-spine. There you go. Massage that open and breathe and meditate on the body. Feel that. Open the waist up. There you go. Open the waist. Open the waist. Open the waist. Open the waist. Let's do this a few more times. Open the waist. Open the waist. So that swirling of the waist as much as you possibly can. And meditate on it, because we also have a limbic brain. We have the visceral brain, that part of the brain that takes real-time information from the body. All right, let's take a break on that and then review that, and we'll do a few more. So when we're doing these movements in our Tai Chi and our life practice, there is the brain that's here, all the function up here, but we also have what we refer to as the limbic or visceral brain. That is the actual real-time information that goes through the body that then relays that to the brain up here, and it sorts it out and gives us defining ways that we define and interpret our environment. And that's where we often have a problem, is that between the commerce of the present self, the visceral part of the visceral loop, and then how we go through the brain with it. In our Tai Chi, we're always, in our yoga practice, we're always looking for what is happening right now. Am I okay right now? Not tomorrow, not yesterday, but am I okay right now? And most of the time, the difference between okay and not is the presence of being present. Not only the presence, but being present now. So when you sit here and you swirl your waist, feel your body as it is now. So you have from the femoral head up to the umbilicus. Think about that movement from the head of the femur to the umbilicus when you move. Can you wring that out? Can you reach way back and feel your waist? Let's try that. Can you reach way back? Feel your waist. Reach way back. Feel your waist. Reach way back, turn forward, single whip. Reach way back, forward, relax. So I'm sitting firm in my waist. Energy comes, I deflect it, I reach way over. I want to feel it here. I want to feel it there. I want to relax. I'm going to reach way back. I want to feel it here. So let's practice that. Center the body. First, locate your center. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go just like this. Locate my center. Sit upright. With my eyes, I'm going to follow from the center to my flank. Follow to my starboard flank. My port. Little tension over here. So it works when you can identify the anomalies of tension. So here it's very smooth on me, just because of whatever's going on today. As I reach to my left, I feel a little congestion. And the only way you can remedy anything is to identify it in the moment. Now, as you do that exercise, can you identify the difference in left and right movement in terms of the flow? Is one side a bit more congested or less expressive? And that's what you want to identify in that moment, and then remedy that through cultivating healthy flow. So right here, I feel a bit of congestion. I'm going to relax my neck and shoulder. I'm going to relax something going on in my intestine. Straight, good, and back. Shake it out. I'm going to follow the flow. No congestion here. So now that I've identified the congestion, I'm going to put a little more emphasis on the congested side. I'm not going to neglect the uncongested side, which is my baseline. I'm going to really work on what's going on over here from the very beginning. And I actually can feel, as I move right about here, there's a little something going on. Maybe I step on my side, maybe just go. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on that again, right here. So each of you identify in your own self, even the minute amount of congestion. So what is sustainable is being fluidity. What is not sustainable is lack of fluidity. Fluid. Fluid. And now from that position, we're going to lift the sky. Push it out. And as I'm cultivating fluidity in my body, eventually I want my scapula to roll together. The chest opens, the shoulders are back, but without a lot of athletic intervention, okay? Your intention is to be fluid and graceful. Your strategies are to move any encumberment to that away through steady flow. The breath is washing and clearing. Talk to your body, get the feedback. What does it need? Take your time. Lift the sky. Outward. Once more. And so this is from lightweight Qigong. So it is the elegant or the noble one. Samples the fragrant tea. So think about being in a bazaar. You gather the tea, you sample its quality, and you disperse it. So there is a beautiful story in this. The elegant one or the noble person, that's the posture, the noble posture, sampling the fragrant teas. So now you're going to summon your olfactory. Imagine there's a beautiful peppermint or jasmine tea, or whatever it is that will offer you a method of health improvement. Cinnamon maybe, and breathe it in and disperse it into your environment. Sample it, breathe it in, and disperse it into your environment. And the power of the mind that you can actually conjure fragrances, yet tap into that memory, sense, and intention. Think about the one you'd like. So in this time, we need the cinnamon to open. And the whole body, remember, it's noble and expressive. Even my waist is participating in this, way down. My posture remains upright and noble. The movements are elegant and deliberate. A few more times. And then pausing. Now the washing of the channels. You can do it seated or standing, as long as if you're seated, you're on the edge of the seat. The legs are firm and filled with energy and chi. The feet are well rooted in the ground. So at any moment, you can actually just stand up without pitching the body forward. So as long as you're doing that, you still get a tremendous benefit in the kidney chi and the yin cultivation. So now we go into the bucket of pure and healing water. Breathe it in. Reach. Inhale. Exhale. Clear your sinuses, your mind, your senses. Whew. Wash away the stress of the chaos. Quiet the noise. Work towards intelligent discernment. Catch your breath. Believe. Be sincere in your practice. Consider what you are washing away and what you're breathing in. Guard your mind and your body from the invasion of ignorance. A few more times. And finally finishing with washing the heart channel. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. Shake it out. Hold the dandian. Long, deep breaths into the dandian, into the belly rises and falls as it expresses the breath. Visualize the breath, the expanding of the lower belly, 4-finger breaths below the belly button. See it rise and fall. Surrender the tension from the rest of the body. So the only noticeable expression of breath is the rising and falling of the lower belly. And very good, everybody, very good. Again, I want to, of course, thank everybody. I've been working on this idea of Dharma Media for a year or so, and we're getting closer and closer to launching that. I think it's a good thing as we move forward, ways that we can manage our energy, our resources, and our time, create sustainable models for our community, advance our knowledge, and really protect ourselves from not just what's going on now, but the madness that leads to that. As I've been saying, and everybody can unmute right now because I want to get your feedback, is that we've been heading in an unhealthy direction for a long, long time. Not just the people who are not striving for self-awareness, but even those of us who are aware tend to become arrogant and dismissive of the trends of the day. And this is a wake-up call, right? This is a wake-up call. All commerce, as for all practical purposes, come to a halt. And in a culture that is built on the ever higher movement of the Tao and volatile consumerism, it wasn't sustainable anyway. And now let us, those of us, think about it. How can we be well through these times? So we're hunkered down. We need to readdress different relationship dynamics, be more open-minded, learn from each other, look for each other for our basic resources, and first look inward and then in the orbits of people around us. So I would like to cultivate this. We have Dharma Media set up. We're going to be launching. I need your feedback. We can do classes, courses, advance our knowledge, share and exchange, create new models of commerce, not just financial commerce, but emotional and intellectual commerce to better our lives. This will be something that we looked at history as maybe the collapse of things that weren't so great and the rise of things that are better. What we were doing wasn't sustainable anyway. So let's work on that. Let's start working on that. Any thoughts? Anybody have any thoughts? How did you like this? What can improve? I'm open, I'm listening. Talk to me.
This was really cool. And I was just thinking that we have this for ourselves. And then I was thinking that maybe one day a week, we could publish an open link and have people come. We give it out, have anybody come and see it. And if they want to participate more, we roll them into the Dharma Media website. And if they pay, then they get a link to the ongoing classes during this. But it might be a good way to get some more people to come and be a part of this.
That'd be a great idea. That's a great idea, Jody. Anybody else?
This feels really good to be connected again.
Good. It does, it does. And this stuff that's going on we don't have to follow the herd and just live in a state of panic and uncertainty. I never trusted government anyway. So for me, this is great, honestly. I've never believed that there's some Wizard of Oz that's gonna come to our rescue. You know, I heard about everybody getting $2,000 checks and all that kind of stuff. I'm not counting on any of that stuff, right? We gotta count on each other and nurture these relationships, which is what I've always felt anyway. And now this is confirming and affirming that. So yeah, it really feels good to be connected and reestablish that we can look after each other. If we need things, we can talk to each other first, see what the resources look like, and really how we should probably been living our life all along anyway. So great, Karen. Anybody else? How about you, Nina?
This was great. I'm thrilled. I do other things on Zoom. I do other practices on Zoom, and this is wonderful, and it's so needed for us right now. So we really appreciate it. Thank you, Z. And
I got you. I love you, Nina. You've always been around. We've been around each other for more than a couple of decades. Let's just keep doing the practice. John's looking good back there. And we have each other, and we can build a real healthy community of people of common mind. Even if we weren't born of common parents, we share common souls and ideas. And you know, just privately, Nina, you know, I love you like a sister, and I love John, and it nurtures all of us, and we'll be okay through all of this. You know, we'll be okay with all this, because this life is short, and let's be open-minded and redefine things, the way we look at things, and subdue the ego so we can get through it. Don't listen to the noise. We can't listen to the chatter, or it'll drive us crazy. Anybody else have any thoughts, anything you want to share?
It would be nice if we could learn like a diet that would help us through this.
Put it in the notes, and we'll come up with diet and nutrition stuff that's working out real good. I just started sustainable gardening. So we've had our first couple of meals from things we've grown in our yard. You don't need a lot of space. If you grow 2 or 3 plants, the nutrition you get not just from the plant, but from the energy of the plant is pretty phenomenal. Goes a long way towards your health. So we'll talk about that, Tony. Just put in your request, and we're going to serve the community the best way we can. Right?
Z, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who is that? I can't.
Shelly.
Who is that?
Shelly.
Oh, great. Hey, Shelly. Hey.
You know, I'm
cool.
very impressed. It's a hard times for a lot of people all over the world.
Yeah.
And just as my youngest daughter, Sarah, is a little bit in panic mode because of what's going on in her exposures as a psychologist, she wants Barbara to leave India immediately. And Barbara told me yesterday, she said the Ayurvedic practitioner who she and Linda are with right now in Kerala, he agreed with a comment I recently read that maybe India is going to be spared because the temperature is so damn hot. Barbara said it was 108 in the shade yesterday.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so maybe you got to look at things differently than yesterday.
Yeah, we do. And also, if we're making decisions based on fear, collective fear, like the quantizing of fear, it blinds us to true ways of moving forward. And there is so much fear being shared, and there's so much hysteria that thinking people are no longer thinking. I've had a few incidents where people that you thought were okay just completely exploded from the fear, the anxiety. That is, it is more contagious than the flu itself. So let's guard our heart and guard our mind. And are the decisions we making based on fear? Are they based on worry? Or are they based on sound evidence and critical thinking? Critical thinking would say, yeah, hot, warm place, you're good to go. I would sit in place, relax, and enjoy the environment as much as I could, take the break, reinforce my health. But of course, when we have loved ones, we can't think straight. We only think about dread. And when we do that, we don't see the way through. So panic is never good on any level.
But thanks to you, I'm going to start a little garden here.
Yeah, I got tips from David Nick. He's not online, but David is our in-house garden expert. And so that's coming out. And you don't need a lot of space. Just grow something. Just grow something you can eat, right? And then figure out if it's indoor, outdoor. It's pretty cool. It's fun to see. And it's like, I feel like a kid all over it. I go outside and I see that we have nice plants. Bringing life to the planet. You're not part of the decline. You're part of the...
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And beautiful to see you, Shelly. I'll see you guys more. We're going to get this up to speed.
Say thanks so much for starting this program.
Oh, you guys started it. It was through the demand. There's my sustainable garden. I see pictures of it right there. So that's all good. That's all good. Anything else, John? Because we want to grow this real good. I see Mo right there. I see Deb. What you guys got to say?
Hello? Can you hear me?
I see you. I can hear you.
All right, I got these earphones on. No, it's all good. I think like right now, from what I could tell, the level of consciousness and awareness that you're required to have is increasing, because it's going to be needed as people start to get deeper and deeper into their panic, into their fear. You have to continue to, I don't know, hold a space for that, but also make sure you're not surrounding yourself with those people who are buying into that sort of fear. So I've been noticing, like, even for myself, like, I have to limit the people I talk to and communicate right now, because I don't want to go down that road of panic and fear. I mean, I understand that it's there, I'm being vigilant, but I also want to continue to believe and stay present and stay in the now and believe in the possibilities and the positive things that are happening. And so I could kind of hold that positive space. And so I just try to kind of keep working down that road for myself and keep doing the work. So being able to tap in with you guys, especially during these times, is invaluable. And I'm just looking forward to seeing where it goes.
Yeah. And like I said, and I think for everybody, I created a self-awareness metric when we talk about all the things that are going on. None of this stuff is new as far as the planet Earth goes. There's always been cold, flu seasons. What is uniquely different is that over the last few decades or so, and anybody can chime in, again, I don't know the truth, I'm just sharing my observation, is we have normalized all levels of physical, emotional, and social unhealthiness. It is the new normal that people behave a certain way, we live a certain way, and we've created new ways of using language to create a mask over the wounds of society. And if those of us who are thinking can peel away that and really look at what's going on and say, what can I do to reinforce my well-being? How can I not necessarily buy into these mal-narratives about life? That can I be as healthy and as well as I can be? And also weighing in where you have challenges. If you're on medications, you know the medication ideally is a bridge to somewhere, not a bridge to nowhere. I'm not saying you should be anti-medicine. You should be pro-intelligence. So if you need something, know what you need and how long you need it, but also know the cost it puts on your immune system, and then maybe reinforcing it in other ways. So if you're on some medication, know that you're exercising, eating healthy foods is a plus to your immune system. And the things that you're doing, the drugs you're taking or meds you're taking are taking away some things in your immune system. So how can you put those back together? We know that stress and anxiety undermine the immune system to a high degree. So how can I really deal with my stress and anxiety? And as Mo said, maybe limiting your exposure to things that stress you out and even people that stress you out, which is a holistic way of approaching it. Because the more that you can maintain your Wei Qi or your immune system, the more that the normal ebbs and flow of nature will affect you differently. There are people who are exposed to allergens every summer. Those people are now suffering greater because their immune systems are compromised. So things you want to think about, you know, and work on. So we have any ideas on that? Anybody have any ideas on that?
No, I mean, for me, it seems like from what I could feel and where I'm at with it, it seems like, especially if we're doing this work, is that we're on the right track. You know, I think it's just keeping, like you said, limiting the anxiety and the stress is going to help us continue to stay present, and it's going to lead us in the right direction. We just have to keep believing in that and believing in the work and believing in the process, and don't sit back and relax and think you could just sit there and sit on the couch and not be active and just let it pass. You have to do your work. The work continues regardless.
And critical thinking, we're going to be doing some podcasts on like the pathology of a pandemic, like mentally, emotionally, socially, and also just exercises in critical thinking. Why are there oftentimes solutions right in front of us and we don't adhere to the solution? Because we're not really working on our critical thinking skills. They're as important as our martial skills, as important as all our life skills. So we're going to be talking about that, how we can nurture healthy levels and tonify our ability to critical think, because there are solutions and we can do checklists. And we know that here are things that I need to do for my immediate health. Here are things I can do for my long-term health and well-being. And they also include your environment and your environment, the people you're around, and how we can nurture and also take away from each other's well-being, and how to limit and engage that in a very practical way. Everybody follow that?